Alright, so I'm going to do a quick little display of my app here. I don't have like a script or anything. I had to actually re-record it because my original video was too long for my non-premium YouTube account. Anyways, I digress. So we have a car dealership, Markwitz Auto, and we have this getting pulled from our Postgres SQL database, obviously right here, but this is stored as a URL within our database, and I got all the images from Wikipedia. You click here and you'll get individual makes. Then we have a contact us page. We have Markwitz, Jonathan, and Mary, well, because I cracked myself up. And then, my main focus in the site was trying to get profiles to work and have some sort of authentication so you can only do certain things as a certain user. So, this form isn't connected to anything. One thing that I think would have been cool is if I would have got an API where a Google Maps image, like the street, not the street view, but the other kind, like the regular map right here with a wherever their location would be. I think that'd also be kind of cool. But front end stuff wasn't what I was focusing on here. If I was going to do that, I'd probably want to use React. However, I think using Timeleaf was very nice because I think in some degrees it's more important to focus on fundamentals, like having a really good understanding of how HTML and vanilla JavaScript works with the DOM. I think it's understanding how that works is probably pretty good. So working with a templating engine, it's more closer to vanilla HTML than React. But I mean, you can still do a lot of operations you wouldn't be able to do easily. So I mean, but having a good understanding of fundamentals is always a good thing in pretty much any discipline that you do. But that wasn't what I was focusing on in this project. I'll stop beating a dead horse. So we'll go ahead and we'll sign up. I'm going to use a one that I've already done before, so we can see some validation. Oh, yay! Alright, so let's try again. Gotta make sure I tagged in that email, otherwise it would trigger the validation again. I don't, I gotta be quicker. It can't be a 30-minute video again. Yay, we logged in. Or we created an account. So let's go back, log in. Alright. So we can see some changes. Now it's just the log out button. I think that is the only real change because I don't want this user to be able to really do much. Maybe on an actual car dealership website, it gives them, they could join the mailing list so they can get news about new cars, or they can get news about deals. Maybe you could maybe make another column in the table with favorites where they can favorite cars, and then you can go ahead and get more data about them. So then you can send them more specialized advertisements or something. I don't know. But like I said before, I just wanted to try and get authentication to work. So let's log out. You are logged out. Yay! So now this would be, oops, this would be more like the admin account that I have set up. Oops. Alright. So now we can see some changes in the site. We have an update, a delete, and a create new listing. So first things first, let's go ahead and check out that create new listing form. We got set up, and I'm going to pause for 1 minute so I can get some information about a car. Alright, so I got that image URL. Like I said before, that's how I'm storing them in the database. You know, if you wanted to, you could probably put images on Imager and then, you know, link them over. That'd be my solution to it. Otherwise, I think it's not so straightforward to store like JPEG images in SQL database, but it can store URL really nicely. So there you go. Next, it is. Sorry about that, guys. So we have a Chevy Cavalier. I'm sorry, one more second. Alright, thank you. So year made, we'll go like 1980, and then we'll say that many. And then there's our VIN number. Let's go ahead and submit. There you go. Chevrolet Cavalier 1980. That many miles. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Got our nice little image. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna update it now. I lied about the mileage. It was actually rounding error. Alright, so there we go. We have our mileage change. Obviously, you could change any of these categories, but since it's such a cool car and our website's so great, we can delete it because it already sold off the lot. Yay! Alright, so that's all the CRUD functions. As you can see, it was only available when you were that specific account. So I'll go ahead and I'll log out now, and it is time to check out some code. Just a quick note, I can show you real quick. Passwords are hashed in the database, not in plain text. So I guess well, how much time I got here? Let me pause it. Alright, I got some minutes. I'm gonna quickly try and go through the back end. So I have my models here. We can check out the car one. Got all these attributes, you know, using Lombok, using JPA, I believe it's called, the Java ORM. So this is gonna go ahead, it's just a plain Java class. It's gonna turn that into our table in our database. I'm using DTOs. From my understanding of it, is it kind of like encapsulates the data. You can put things in it that are not in the greater database. For example, this does not have a VIN, because the VIN will never be posted on the website, so it should never be handed over to the front end. So, you know, DTO never gets passed, and I think it's also a way of like encapsulating data. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's a security feature that I am positive about, because it controls like controls the data handing over. So then we'll go to the repository next. Go car repository, find car by make. This is where you declare your custom searches, and we can find that in the service. So we have two. We have the implementation, and then we also have the implementation. Then we actually have the service, and like I was talking about before with the DTO, it is to try to help with security. It like provides less information to be sniffed on your database, so that's good. Or sniffed, scraped. I'm not a development ops specialist by any means. Anyways, open inside. Where are we? Alright, so we just wanted the car service. So let me delete some of this extra stuff. Like I said, I already went through this. So, oh, that's security config. I want car service. Alright, so here's the implementation. Here's where, you know, the nitty-gritty gets done. Excuse me. So we wrote our own mappers to map the car DTO into, or the car into the car DTO. And our profile, profile implementation. We can see where we get our password encoded, because that's very important. You do not want to store plain text for vulnerable information. That much I do know about DevOps. I need to hurry up. I only got a few more minutes left. So that was very important. We have cars for each and every one of them. Find all cars by make. Find all cars. There was something specific that I was looking for, but I don't remember. This is why I should have wrote notes for this. Oh, it's in the controllers, that's why. Duh. It's part of the controller, that's what I wanted to talk about. So now we'll go to the car controller. I'm going in that order because it's like moving away from the database. It'd be like the way that you write it. So this is the closest part of the backend to the user. It's the mappings for the controllers. This is the one that I specifically want to talk about. This is the one that is going to allow you to authenticate your user on that page. So get session user plus username. This is why we also have to have the profile service in the car controller, because we need to interact with the car table or the profile table to get information whether or not we're logged in. So there we go. And then we pass it into the model, and then it returns the car's page HTML. That is stored in the resources here, and I was using Timeleaf templating engine, and it was not my favorite to use. I preferred JavaScript a little bit more, but I also thought it was fun. It was like working with more basic HTML. So then we also have, what one was I looking for? Yeah, so we also have layout, so you know, like we don't have to keep rewriting the taskbar. It makes our code look a little bit cleaner. It ain't got as much boilerplate, so that's cool. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Yes. So here we go. It's in the security configs. I had the most pain with this part right here, because every video resource that I found on Spring Security was all like Spring Security 3 or Spring Security 5, and they were like relatively new videos. But like I was using Spring 6.21, 6.2.1, and I had to do things very differently. But I figured it all out by reading the documentation. Take that, YouTubers. And this part, ChatGPT, actually, this specific part right here, because I couldn't easily find where to do that on the documentation, so ChatGPT helped me turn off the CRRF, because it's just a learning thing, not DevOps learning, just authentication. And that's it, guys. Thank you for sticking around this long and listening to me talk about my code.